The glamorous celebrities walking red carpets project an image of inevitable success. But I bet you didn't know that many of Hollywood's biggest stars were literally days away from giving up their dreams entirely, facing eviction, living in cars, or working odd jobs, just before landing the roles that changed everything. Let's uncover the shocking reality these A-list actors faced right before their breakthrough moments. Before becoming Star-Lord and one of Hollywood's highest-paid leading men, Chris Pratt was living in a van in Maui, completely broke. He worked as a discount ticket salesman and stripper, just to afford food, sleeping in his van on beaches. His break came when actress Rae Dawn Chong spotted him waiting tables at Bubba Gump Shrimp Company. This tiny opportunity led to Everwood, then Parks and Recreation, and eventually global stardom. Pratt was literally hours away from returning home to live with his parents when this first opportunity appeared. When Halle Berry moved to New York to pursue acting, she found herself staying in a homeless shelter after her money ran out, sleeping on cots with strangers and eating at soup kitchens. When she called her mother for help, she was refused, a decision Berry later credited with forcing her independence. She took tiny roles wherever possible, eventually landing Living Dolls. While the show failed, it gave her just enough exposure to continue. She was days away from her personal deadline for giving up when her breakthrough arrived, eventually making history as the first Black woman to win Best Actress. Jim Carrey's family lived in a Volkswagen van after his father lost his accounting job. As a teenager, Carrey worked factory shifts after school to help support his family, eventually dropping out to pursue comedy despite the obvious risks. In a famous act of manifestation, he wrote himself a check for $10 million for acting services rendered, dated for Thanksgiving 1995. In 1994, he earned exactly that amount for Dumb and Dumber after nearly a decade of financial insecurity. Before becoming a global icon, Jennifer Lopez was homeless, sleeping on her dance studio sofa because she couldn't afford an apartment. She would shower at the studio's sink before students arrived for morning classes. This led to backup dancing for New Kids on the Block, then becoming a fly girl on In Living Color, which opened doors to acting. Her Selena breakthrough came while still living paycheck to paycheck, eventually building a multi-industry empire. Robert Downey Jr.'s story involves hitting rock bottom after early success. His substance abuse led to multiple arrests and financial disaster, making him considered uninsurable in Hollywood. Studios literally wouldn't return his agents' calls. His resurrection began when Mel Gibson personally paid his insurance bond, but many remained wary until Jon Favreau fought to cast him as Tony Stark. Despite previous fame, Downey was virtually penniless before Iron Man, which eventually made him one of Hollywood's highest-paid actors. Before owning a major film studio, Tyler Perry was living in his car between failed stage productions. He invested his savings in I Know I've Been Changed, which failed completely, leaving him broke and occasionally homeless for 6 years. On his final attempt in 1998, what he decided would be his last try before giving up, the show finally succeeded. This led to the Madea franchise and ultimately his 330-acre studio complex. Perry emphasizes his breakthrough came literally on his planned final attempt. These stories share a fascinating pattern. The career-defining opportunity often arrived just when these actors were at their breaking point, sometimes days from abandoning their dreams entirely. This suggests that extraordinary psychological resilience may be as important as talent in determining who ultimately succeeds. It also highlights how serendipitous career-defining moments can be, from being spotted waiting tables to having directors fight insurance companies on your behalf. Behind many of Hollywood's biggest names lies a story of financial desperation or near defeat that preceded their breakthrough. These journeys remind us that success often hinges on persistence through the darkest moments. If you found these behind the glamour stories fascinating, hit subscribe for more videos revealing unexpected truths.